Assalamu alaikum guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Kiarkymoments, and in this channel we talk about photography, lifestyle and everything Islamic. So today's topic is all about we the youngsters, we the singles, we the ladies preparing ahead of us having this thought of marriage. So we will be talking about the fears, the expectations, the everything in between that leads to that step or that journey. So here with me, I have my friend who is Ajasad Zainab in Costa. She will introduce herself in a bit, but she's here to talk about this same topic with me as a single, as a youngster like me. So we get to share our views and our thoughts about this topic because I realize majority of the youth don't talk about this, and we really go through this phase. Like we all go through this phase, and I know you guys also know about this. So tell me in the comment section, make it interactive. Let's discuss. Let's be open-minded. Nobody's there to judge anyone. We just want to share this view and topic with us. So meet my friend. Hi Zainab.
Hello, Denike. Salamu alaikum. How are
Walaikum
you
salam.
doing?
I'm fine, and
So,
you?
guys, today we'll be talking about marriage expectation, fears, the reality from singles. So,
Okay.
first, before going to our main topic, what do we all understand about marriage? What is
Okay.
marriage all about? Because to others, they might think that, oh, marriage is fine, marriage is very sweet. We are not
Okay.
there yet, but marriage is very interesting because you have to go through lots of phases as an individual, as a
Okay.
single person. So
Okay.
marriage has lots of expectation. What exactly
Mm.
are we expecting from this marriage? Marriage is not only about being happy always. There are
Yeah.
always sad moments, there are always happy moments. So you
Yeah.
just have to go together with your partner.
Okay.
So, firstly, I want us to understand one thing about marriage.
Mm.
Not everyone, not everybody, not all the singles are meant to get married.
Hmm.
Not everybody. Marriage is not
This
meant
is
for
deep.
everyone.
This is deep. Why do
The
you think
reason
so?
why, don't get me wrong, the reason why I said marriage is not meant for everyone is because lots of people, millions of people, are not ready to make sacrifice for this marriage.
Mm.
They are not ready to, they just want to go through the sweetness. They don't want to realize that there is this sad moment. You can't expect to be happy always. Sad moment, there are times you might be thinking of giving up. There are times you might be thinking of going out of the marriage. There are times you might even
Okay.
feel like, oh, this person,
Okay, Zainab, I
you don't
think
like
I
stop.
understand your point of view, but like this, let's start with expectations. Like before we move down to what that marriage is all about, let's talk about our expectations as singles, our fears and the realities. Then from reality we get to how marriage ought to be. So you start first. Tell me about some of your expectations, what you feel you want in marriage, and how it has worked, and how okay it has not worked yet. I mean, you're not married. Okay,
Yes,
tell me.
at least some things are in line,
Okay,
some
tell
things
me
are in
about
order.
the one in relationship, how it has worked and how it hasn't worked. Let's talk about that.
Okay, let me just start with this particular one. In a
Okay.
relationship,
All right.
you have to keep your eyes peeled away
Peeled.
from red flag. Peeled, yes.
Away from red
When you
flag.
red flag. So I will explain that thing. When you want to keep your eyes away from keep your eyes peeled away from red flag, it means that there are some things that you need to like there are some things that you need to accept the way they are.
I'm listening.
So
I'm
you don't
listening.
have to blind yourself. You don't have to blind your yes, you don't have to blind your face, your eyes. You don't have to go into a relationship blinded.
Okay.
You need to be open-minded and your eyes must be widely opened when you are in a relationship. Because from relationship, it starts from being in a relationship before going into the monumental aspects of that marriage itself. So
Okay.
if you are in a relationship, your face, your mind, everything, your eyes must be widely opened
Okay.
because you are very funny. You might be thinking that the person you are into is into us, is deeply into us, not even knowing that we are into that particular thing, but the person is not deeply into it.
Mm,
So
okay.
you don't have to make it seem okay because you are in love with this person. Your brain, everything must shut down. No, you don't have to close off everything.
Okay.
Your mind, your eyes,
But you
everything, your
but you made
heart.
mention of red flags. You were saying something
Yes,
about the red
that's
flag.
what it means. Red
Okay.
flag is just like close. You know, when talking about red color, when you have a color and you pour that color, let's assume you have a red color or you have any color,
Okay.
and you pour that color on something white, just like that color is going to blindfolded everything. You won't even be able to know the other color that is underneath that thing.
Yes, 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 yes.
So that's the reason why I make use of that red flag,
Okay.
which means your eyes must be opened, your heart must be opened, everything about you must be opened in that relationship.
Okay.
So that is my number one point. Say about it, then we can now say it here now. But I just want you all to understand that going into a relationship, you must be able to open your heart, your face, your mind, everything widely so that you can know and you can see everything that is going on.
All
That
right.
is when you will now know best because if you don't open your mind, if you don't open anything widely, it might affect in that relationship. It might even crumble the marriage when you later get into it. That is the reason why we get to understand that this day we have lots of single mothers out there and we can't blame them. We can't blame any one of them because they've gone through a lot. If you ask any single mothers outside, they'll be able, just any one of them, any single mother outside, they'll be able to tell you what they've gone through in that marriage. Due to the fact that they cover, they try to overlook some things in that relationship. All in the name of, oh, I love this person. I don't want my relationship to trouble.
But
It is normal.
okay.
It
Let
is
let
normal to love somebody.
okay, let me tell you
You have
some of my
to, okay,
expectations. Like, as singles, you expect that, oh, you are independent, you work, you take care of yourself. So when you get married, then somebody should be the one to take care of all these bills. Like a general thing, you find girls saying, when I'm married, the bills are off, the man is to take care of the bills. You understand my point? And sometimes you feel, oh, the man has to be very romantic, and you just be enjoying all the glamorous things and everything that comes with being romantic. You understand? Hello, are you with
yeah,
me? And
yeah.
thirdly, reality, what we want and not what we want for others. Like, oh, this is what I want, this is it, this is how it should be, not minding how the other person's perspective or view about it is. And I realized that marriage expectation is all about great company, um, companionship, respect, even cracking jokes, and it is a lifetime something. So I expect the other person to be like my best friend, who I can talk to, who I can share things with, who I can explore life with. Hope you understand. That's my own vision
Yes,
about what marriage actually is. So, but the reverse is always the case, like just like what you just finished saying, that some singles um close their eyes off the red flags. And I won't say they close their eyes off the red flag, because sometimes you see things about the other person and you be like, oh, well, maybe I can adjust, maybe I can adapt. But at the longer you now realize, wow, this is just too much for me to. Oh, that's when you find people now start complaining and they start talking, oh, I can't do this anymore, I can't take this anymore. But I think when they initially saw those red flags, their expectations, their view about it is that they can continue, that they can manage, they can break through with it. It is not something so huge that they won't be able to follow up about. So I think that's what some people feel while in relationship, and that's why they accept or condone those things. But I've realized that too much expectation brings disappointment. So the more I grow up, the
And
more I'm
I
growing
love that word.
ahead, the more I'm
And
growing, I realize that we just have to lower our expectations. Like, because these two individuals are coming from different family backgrounds, different
different
family
family background.
trainings, different family um upbringings. Like, so it can never be the same. It can never be the same. So I've always tried to like lower the expectation, lower the views, and try as much as possible best to talk. Like, communication is very key and very vital. So I believe as singles we should try our best to talk. Like, when you see something you don't like, just talk about it. The other person might be hurt, the other person might not find it funny, but I believe while you talk about it, it will tell the other person, oh, this is what she wants, this is part of what she likes, this is part of who she is. So it's not left for the other person to also think, oh, can I adjust, can I add that, is this something I can comprehend, is this something I can take as being me. Then it's always good to always come to a conclusion. That's why I do tell people that when you communicate to someone, always don't just leave that scene without coming to a conclusion that, oh, this is what we have concluded on. Because if you say, okay, because you've argued and you this one verse, that one too verse, like, it doesn't make sense. So let's try and always come to a conclusion ahead whenever we have this kind of argument, because going separate ways brings gap, and that gap at that moment cannot be filled. Like, it's already there. But if immediately you have that argument and you try to draw a conclusion and everything is settled, it makes the two parties feel um this confidence of, okay, is another step for us to move forward. You understand my point?
Forward.
So
Okay, yeah.
that's what I've seen so far about expectation and my realities that is drawing on me. So I want you to
But
tell me some of your own
do you
fears
know,
and the realities that have drawn me.
do you know that
Okay.
there are some people that they don't want to face their fears. There are some people that they don't want to communicate in a relationship. They don't even like bringing up that thing.
I I
They
I
don't
I I
want.
think yes, I think it's true, but
Don't
that's the
want.
best solution.
Feel that
Wallahi,
in
because
relationship, I don't know. Is it? Should I use the word that? Should I use the word that? Should I say they are trying to run away from the conversation because they don't know what it might lead or
tr-
end to in that relationship?
truly,
But in a
truly,
relationship, every relationship, communication is a vital key
wallahi,
because communication is not only about talking;
mm,
it's the process of expressing yourself.
wallahi, and I feel like this is common among the men. Like, for
Yes,
a
because they
female will
believe
feel, oh, there's some female that cannot cook.
because they believe that.
Do you know that there's some female that cannot
Yes,
cook?
I have a friend like that. I have a friend like that. She's
Because
even
eventually,
the friend
you
is
say,
even a guy. He had to end the relationship with the lady. The relationship of so the lady did not even know how to express herself. And the guy wants somebody that he might be able to relate with anytime, any day, any moment. And the lady is not giving that to him. So
that
he had to
is
move
is
out from that
actually is
relationship.
actually a problem. I think so, because I find it that, okay, like, let's say each individual, we have the kind of person we are. So I'm this kind of person that I don't make friends like that. I don't have too much social groups. So I find it that whoever should be in a relationship with should try to be my friend, where I can communicate even the most stupid
See,
nonsense.
the case
Yes. So if
that
from that
there
stupid
are some things
thing,
that they are not important, but you just have to discuss it.
hey, like you share opinion, you share your views about it. So in that case, if we now start having arguments and you are trying to run away from it, you are not trying to bring up solution, you are not trying to, okay, let's conclude, let's not that we should close it, but let's get our own satisfaction from this argument, from this topic. Then if you try to shy away from it, or you just want to change the mood and change the atmosphere and say because you're a man you will be the one to talk last, no, 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 or you just scream or you shout or you back or you back out of the scene, it will be so annoying and frustrating. So in that kind of situation,
Yeah.
I feel like it's common among men than women. Men find it that okay, the woman cannot have their own view, they cannot talk, they should not be expressive. So in that way, they feel whatever she's saying is actually talking to them, and they don't want her to actually go further. So they try to stop her by bringing all those
Oh,
reaction and all of that. But it's not fair because as an emotional person, it tells back on me, it tells back on my kind of person. So I will not be looking for who to communicate with at that moment to make
yes.
that feeling go away. And I
Exactly.
think it's best we actually walk about it. Like it's becoming too rampant. And that's why at the end of the day you find out that those women, because our mother's generation, I think they have that mind
They've
that they
gone
can
through a lot.
stay, they will
They've
bear
gone through a
everything.
lot.
They bear
They've gone through
everything.
a lot. They've gone through
But
a lot.
I don't
No, no,
think
no.
this generation are trying to bear everything at all. So I feel like once you are seeing this kind of signs in the relationship and you're trying to talk to your partner like, oh, this is who I actually am. I try to see things, observe things, and I try to communicate. I'm not communicating to complain. I'm communicating to share my own opinion and hear your own view. So it's not left for the partner to be like, okay, this is who I am, this is how it is, this is my own take. Then you now see maybe his own take and your own take. Maybe the two of you can comprehend, maybe the two of you can actually bend for one another. Then you have solved the problem. But some men will just be like, no, case closed. Let's just end it. Let's just close the chapter. Like that's what just
Yeah.
end things.
It's not like some men want those. See, there are some men outside that at times the issue is reversal. It happens between the two of them. The lady might be the issue because there are some men that they like talking. Out of 100%, we have like 30% of men that like talking. The 70% don't even like talking, and they like dying in silence.
To help those ones that actually don't like talking, not to die in silence. That's why I feel they should
That's
try,
the
and
reason why.
since they have a friend, I mean their girlfriend that they call their friend, that they are trying to make the future with, at least they should try and communicate so they don't end up dying in silence. I mean
No,
that's
they
what I
might
feel.
this option. I think this option of going to see a counselor, a marriage counselor, is good.
Wallah, it's good, but
Even
they hardly accept.
before getting married, it is always good to
But
see a counselor.
they hardly accept. They hardly accept.
And it
Like
happens in this country, especially in this Nigeria. Some people don't like going to see a counselor.
many people don't even
That's the
like it,
reason
not only
of
some
why,
people.
even though when they are married, you see them whenever they have one issue, they go out because they go out to see people that can understand them more.
So why not try and make your wife your understanding partner? That's what me I'm always.
Even one particular movie. There is even one particular movie I watched, Genesis. Have you watched that movie?
No,
Genesis.
I haven't.
Genesis. I think it is written by this person. It's written and produced by this person. Debbie Shokoya. Please go and watch that movie. This movie needs to be watched by every single lady, single man, and married people. Because in
Genesis.
that movie, we have this issue of what our parents, what they've gone through, trying to cover up their mistakes, all in the name of if I say this thing, if I leave this marriage, if I leave this if I leave this relationship, what will people say?
That has been a
I remember
common.
while growing up, but it's wrong. I remember while growing up then, most of my past relationship lasted for a month, 2 weeks. The least is a year, and then I was in secondary school. So the person just asked me out without even knowing the meaning of dating. So I just get into the relationship, and when I realized that, because this secondary school aspect, some people will be like, wow, this person is into this person is into that person. It's not like I don't like that person. I like the guy. I just like him as a friend. But I did not see anything beyond that friends. We dated for just a year. A year. Most of my relationship lasted for a month, 2 months.
So that's the only one
Some
that
a week.
lasted more.
And at times, and it got to a point, my family started asking me a question, telling me that, he's telling me that we've never seen any guy with you. Is it that you are the one that doesn't accept their request, or you have a problem so that we can know where to take you to? Maybe we should just take you to a river and wash your head. And I'm just like, for you. And the most funny part, when God is going to do it, I met somebody amazing.
Yeah.
It might not be amazing to other people, but to me, I think I won't even say it, because if I be hearing me, I won't say, I won't give him all the kudos, but I won't
No,
say it.
the thing is that when I there was a time of my face like that things were just all going the way it was. Then I told God. Then I read a book. Then in that book, the book told me to seek a path. Then a partner will come. So with that, I understood that, so if you have to find a path, you have to be on a path, you have to be on a journey, you have to
Yes,
so in that
yes,
journey you end up finding a partner. So it
a
doesn't just come. So in that way, you'll be able to get your kind of person, your kind
person.
of, because at every point you don't look at, this person is rich, this person is wealthy. You look at the person intention. Are
See,
you compatible? Are you
relationship is not only about handsomeness. It's
so
not
you
talking
you
about
have to look at, so is that partner, that part will make you find your kind of person that you can be so compatible and convenient with. So I think that's what that book was actually telling me to do then, and I thank God I was able to get. Then along the line I realized, this is our common, these are the things we have in common, these are the things we share in common. So if the going gets tough, those things you share in common will be able to recount, do, and take you back to the early times, to the
back.
beginning, to how everything was
Yes,
because relation life happens in between, people change, people
yeah,
so it's
yes. And
those common
normal. It's
things
normal.
that
That is normal.
exactly, so it's those common things that will make you guys come back together and rethink and be like, okay, we can actually make this work, we can actually grow past this phase, we can actually do things together, we can actually blend. So I think that's why I said it still boils down to communication. Like when you talk,
Yeah,
when you
yeah.
talk,
Communication is
when you give the other person
the right
their own, allow them to express their own view, and you have this matured mind that okay, when this person is talking, you don't just overthink of what the person have not thought of, or what the person is trying to think ahead. You try to understand that moment, that situation, that's what occurred that brought about that discussion, and you try to talk it out. So in that way it brings peace and it brings understanding between the two of you. But in a situation whereby this person is always wrong, this person is only complaining, this person is always the one saying this, and you don't try your best to be like, okay, well, why do you think she's always doing that? There's no, somebody cannot just sit down and be mad. No, the person has
yeah.
been thinking about many
Even
things. The
even
person-
the mad even the mad people too, before they do something, they would have been thinking about it.
exactly.
But
So
just that
here
we
we
might not
fail
understand.
to listen to body language, we fail to listen to facial expression, we fail to listen to
Yeah,
um we fail to listen to many things, those signs that are there. It's when the person now accumulates everything and put together, you now say this person like complaining, this person like doing this. What is
and
it?
it's not like we ladies. It's not like we like complaining. No, I won't use that word complaining. It's
Truly,
just like we're trying to set a better future for
yes, for
ourselves.
ourselves.
That is the reason why we are all trying to figure out, because in a relationship, communication is a vital key.
Because even from relationship you should be able to tell, okay, how this is how it will be like, this is
Yeah,
how.
in a relationship, be able to communicate what you want in your marriage.
That's it. That's
We
it.
should
One
be
lie.
able,
That's it.
I'm saying it boldly now, I'm saying it right now. If you come across this video, if you are in a relationship, you should be able to communicate what you want in your marriage.
Seriously, because guys,
It's not about going into
I end up
it,
learning
having
that it
fun,
end up being
going
the
out.
women.
Yes.
It's the women that carries the burden
Because
after
I
marriage.
came
So
across it. There was a particular time I came across one particular thing. Then I think it's not even a story, it happened. These people, I think they got married. Their marriage is not even up to 3 years. They've given birth to a child. I think the child is like 2 years or a year plus. In the line, the woman got pregnant again. And this particular man, her husband, a marriage that is not even up to 5 years, a marriage of 3 years, was having an extramarital affairs outside his marriage. To the extent that he started bringing some of his girlfriend to their matrimonial home.
ah,
And this man was dying in silence. Could you believe that? At a long run, the woman died and left behind a two years old child and a 3 month old child. This woman died in silence. All
but
in the
like
name
this,
of all in the name of let me overlook it. Do
well,
you know
like
that
see
we human beings, okay, we human beings, we used to have this perspective of we can change this person. We
you
cannot change
can't.
anybody.
You can't. Well,
It
like
is
that's why
only
it's
if
best to talk it
we
out and
change.
see if the person will be willing to like let go. If this person will be willing to, okay, let's this um stop. Let's just let's come to a conclusion, because it's one thing when you complain and the person try to
Yeah,
adjust. It's another thing when you
adjust.
complain and the person does not even the person does not adjust at all, and you'll be like, I just finished complaining
I,
about this. Why is it happening like this? So it's best to always talk and
I have a question to ask. Like, some people used to say that, I love that word. They used to say that it is a broken relationship is better than a broken marriage.
yes.
And in the other way round, a broken marriage is better than a lost life.
Yes. Yes.
I've heard a lot of people saying a broken relationship is better than a broken marriage. But to me, a broken marriage is also better than a lost life.
Yes.
Because there are some things that no matter how much you try to make work, your partner won't help out. Especially when their mind is not in that relationship.
Hmm. Especially
Because
when they make you feel like you are the one dating yourself.
yes,
You are the one
there are some
dating
guys that
yourself.
they'll be like, they'll be telling their girlfriend, their woman, that when I'm talking, you don't talk. There are some people like that. They want to dominate everything. They want to be feel like, oh, I'm the man. I should be the one to make the decision. The decision is in my hands. Forgetting that in a decision making, the decision making is between the two parties. You will be able to come together, make a decision, then conclude that okay, this is exactly what we want in the relationship. I've seen a lot of people. I've watched so many things. Even it happens in my own family also.
It's everywhere. It's
No,
everywhere.
not being able to know exactly what is going on. If you ask A will tell you that it's your mom that is at fault. If you ask B,
Me too.
B
Say
will
another
be
thing.
like your daddy that is at fault.
Yeah.
And
So
all these things, to me, is like an abuse.
yes, it
Not
is.
talking in your relationship
It is.
is like you
Or
trying to
trying to hold the woman
throw
not to say
away.
her own view.
Yes,
It's not fair. Whoa, well, like we've talked beyond the number, the minutes. More. I'll make sure this video is in two parts. Like I'll break it
it
down because this topic
is
is
very
quite long.
it's a paramount something. It's something that keeps on happening every day.
But like, so that's why
Guys,
I feel like
I want
we'll put God at the center of
to
it all because
say,
even
because in everything, God should always come first before any other thing. Do you know that there are some God's in His way. He does things in a magical way that we human beings did not even think.
yes.
One thing beyond what we are thinking, and He sees beyond everything.
We need
There are
it.
some signs that we might be seeing in a relationship that our eyes might not even see. That is the reason why I use my first word, my red flag. Don't keep your eyes peeled away from your red flag.
Okay.
Don't be madly. I'm not saying it's not good to be in love.
What's love without affection of each party?
Yes.
It's not making sense. Like it's not making sense. It has to be mutual. It
And
has
then
to
I
be
remember
you
there
I
is one
do,
thing they
me
used
I
to tell
do.
me then. While growing up, there is one thing they used to tell me then. They used to say that if you are in a relationship as a lady, make sure that your whole love, even though you are in love with somebody, you don't show it 100%. Like you are deeply in love with this person.
Because they will take it for granted.
Yes, you don't show it all.
Hmm.
Let the guy's love be more than yours. Because if anything happens in the relationship, if the lady is at fault and the lady is the one that loves the guy a lot, the guy might walk away from that thing. But if the guy love is more deeper than the lady and the lady is at fault, The guy will try all the possible best to accept you for who you are. Get that word properly. There is one quote this person quoted, Muniba Mazari. She said one thing, that when you accept yourself the way you are, the world recognizes you. Let us start to accept ourselves the way we are.
That's it. So if you're a girl and you're emotional, there are some girls that are too emotional, and maybe in that way they try to express themselves more. But if you see someone taking advantage of you, advantage of your kind of person, and you feel this is getting too much, you just
This thing, has it ever happened to you before?
like what?
While growing up, if I did, probably I'm not at fault, or I had any issue with somebody, and we're asked to start talking, just to know who is at fault.
Okay,
the next thing that will come is cry. I'll just be crying. And that moment, they will see me as they will take me, they'll be like, oh, she's the one at fault. And then it's quote one Yoruba, the Asukurojo Ilelotu. They say that thing a lot. So I realized that in the process of trying to express myself, and I started crying, they started taking me for granted. And at times, I tend to accept some things I did not do. If I did not do something and you accuse me of doing it, because I don't want any issue, I don't want to cry. I don't want to be seen as a stupid person, as a cry person. I will just accept it, like, okay, I'm at fault, sorry. To the extent that if I did not do something, they will just walk up to me and tell me, oh, you are the one that did this thing. Okay, I'm sorry. Ever since then, if I did not do something, I will stand on my ground that I'm not the one that do it, and I won't even cry. Because me crying, I see that thing as my weakness. Because I started crying. I see that thing as my weakness. Not even knowing that while crying, because before you can cry, you might have thought of so many things. So many things is going through your mind.
Yes.
That you won't even know how to express it than to cry.
Yes. Zainab, wait. I think let's conclude this by closing this one, because this video is getting longer and I don't know if it will upload like this. So let me see if I can change my live screen, then I'll call you back. Okay?
Okay.
Let me see. Maybe
So,
we've
guys,
been doing recording
in
very
a
well.
relationship, if you are in a relationship,
Yeah.
don't blind your eyes, your heart,
everything
your mind,
working.
everything about you must be widely open in that relationship.
Yes,
and the second thing is relationship. The second thing is communication.
Yes.
It's a vital key. Yes. Communicate what you want in your marriage with your partner.
Exactly.
And make sure you get to the bottom of it.
Yes. And also
don't just try to run away from it.
Wallahi, and
Please,
put God at the center of everything. Put God. Either you have high expectation, you have low expectation. When you communicate, you get to understand your view, the person's view, and everything. But at the long run, put God in between. Let him be the one to direct you to that person. Because you directing yourself to that person, it comes a lot of work. And if you do the work in the relationship, you also do the work in the marriage again. So it's better you just find someone that is quite companion, that you both are quite how should I put this word? Everything is mutual between the two of you, so it brings less work. It brings less work.
Yeah.
All right. So, thank you, girl.
You're welcome.